I don't know how to start a video, but I'm Hootless, and this is Stardew Valley Honeybuzz episode 19, and today we're going to be at least planting these potato seeds. Looks like the berries have finally stopped growing in, so, we don't have to go harvest any more of those, but we do have almost 300 berries, which is pretty great. Definitely more than enough to get us through the rest of spring, probably, most of summer, I would say. And then I think in fall we get the blackberries, right? So we'll probably end up getting a lot more then. I found out, and by found out, I mean you guys told me in the comments of the previous episode that at level 4 foraging, you get +1 berry from wild berry bushes. Which does make sense because, after the recording cut for last episode, I did hit level 4 foraging, at the end of the day. So I hit level 4 foraging relatively early in the day, and that's why I was getting 2 berries from each of the bushes. Which is very useful to know. Alright, it took 4 hours in-game, but I finally managed to water all of our crops at the cost of, the 4 hours, and then also, 12 salmon berries. So now that we finished this, I'm going to go ahead and just one of these last tiles, and then I'm going to go hit the mines, I think. That sounds like a thing to do, I suppose. I've been, working on this tabletop, like a role-playing type thing with my friends. Like Dungeons and Dragons, basically, but not Dungeons and Dragons. It's Pathfinder, if you guys have heard of that. But, I'm starting up a campaign with some of my friends, and the point of the campaign is to try to found a kingdom, and then, actually expand the kingdom and, build it up. Build a city, basically, and then build more cities. And it's still in the very early stages, but we did our first, little bit of actually running stuff, and we founded the kingdom. We've just got the one city, and we fiddled for 2.5 hours over the placement of our one house in the city, and an inn for the city. Everything's kind of abstracted a little bit. So, we aren't actually placing one individual house. It's a lot of houses. A lot filled with houses. And then, basically, it's just all handled through abstractions. So, although I say we fiddled for 2.5 hours over placing a house, it was actually, we placed a bunch of houses in, a block, a city block or whatever. The skeleton is all up in my shit. Get away. Stop. I have a weak sword. But anyways, before that skeleton rudely interrupted me, we have a map that we created in Google Sheets that, we have, first of all, we have our world map. And it's all hexes. Instead of square tiles, it's hexagonal tiles. But we picked one of the hexes that we thought would work best in terms of putting a city there. And then we made a map that corresponded to that hex, but blown up a little bit so that it's more detailed. And that was made up of square tiles. And we picked one of the square tiles there because each one we decided, and it took a lot of deliberation, but we eventually decided that one tile would be a mile on either side. And as it happens, that happened to correspond to 6x6 lots, so it's 36 lots to a tile. So we created a more zoomed in map where every square is one lot. And then we placed down our house, we placed down our inn. We'll probably place down a fishery in the next session. And just basically start taking turns with the kingdom. Each turn runs about a month in game time. So, basically we can, build some houses or whatever. Build a building in a turn. And then we have to let it build and get that all finished. Something right here. What is this? Why can't I walk through here? Maybe there's just a tile of wall there, which would be really weird. But yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, it probably doesn't sound interesting to do like a role-playing thing where we simulate building a kingdom. Especially when I say stuff like we deliberated for almost 3 hours on where to place just one building when a square can hold like 36 different buildings. It gets easier though, as you get along, I would assume. I mean, you can do more as you expand, but at the same time, there's like, you can do more as you expand in terms of you have the space to do it, but also you can have the manpower to do it. And, you know, I would hope it gets easier, but it'll probably get really complicated later on. And that's fine, because it's really different than what we normally do, which is just typical adventuring. It's a nice change of pace to be actually trying to build a kingdom and having to put some thought into it for once. Of course, we still have our characters, like, we still have adventure types. It's just, like, I can't walk past here. I think it's a wall, yeah. But we have, like, our adventuring characters, and the adventuring characters take on leadership positions within the kingdom. So, for example, my character is the, Oh, there's a ladder there. Completely missed it. My character is the Mistress of Piety. Like, all of the roles are named roughly after the roles in the Night Angel trilogy of books, in that there are 9 positions, which is the 9, and then there's the leader, which rules over the 9, and that's called the Shinga. But, only 2 of the positions are ever, like, titled in the books, so we went ahead and extrapolated to get the other 7 titles, and we ended up having one. Like, I was gonna have one that covered both faith and magic, but we needed one more, and I didn't want to split up other things, so I split those up into their own separate things. So my person is the leader that controls the faith in the kingdom, or at least, you know, manages the faith. Should be pretty interesting. Another one of my friends is playing as the leader, because I insisted that one of us play the leader, as long as it isn't me, because I'm also running the whole thing. But, one's playing the leader. One is playing the Master of Order, which is like the, sort of the royal enforcer. Keeps everything proper. Keeps the unrest down. And the 4th person is playing the Master of Coin. And he runs the economy, basically. Or at least manages the economy. Like I said, should all be pretty interesting. It's really complicated and a huge change of pace from what we normally do. But should be very interesting to do. Plus, the whole like purpose of the campaign and everything is to create cities and kingdoms so that they can be put into like our permanent Pathfinder world that we have that we can use for other campaigns. So like in future adventures, we can just plop our new characters down into this world that we've already like created ourselves. So we already have an intimate knowledge of the world. So we know where things are at that point, and we know, like, you know, some of the more detailed bits of lore for the cities. It just adds like a whole extra layer of, you know, connectivity. But anyways, coming up on the end of the video here. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed this. If you did, remember to leave a like, leave a comment, and if you aren't already subscribed, I really recommend it. Helps out a whole bunch, and you get these videos whenever they go up straight to your inbox. Usually every day at noon Pacific Standard Time. But other than that, I'll see you guys all next time. Leave a like and a sub and a comment would be cool. And maybe you could check out more of my channel. Bye.